Interviewed Jon Gruden at camp,
Okay.
one-on-one. Here's what he said to me about you. He's got great command. We could play a lot of different ways. He's really talented. He can throw the ball. He has very good athleticism, sees the field well. We've seen in training camp he's the undisputed leader of our football team, so we're getting a lot from our quarterback. How does that make you feel when you hear that from your head coach?
You know, it's awesome. Especially when he's our leader. He's the one that, steers the ship and those kind of things. I just try and do my best job to lead the team as he tells me, and that's the quarterback's job, is to make sure we're the owner, the GM, the head coach, and the quarterback all have to be on the same page. And I've always believed that, and whenever that's the case, it's a recipe for success. You watch some of these guys have been in the same system with the same guys for so long. That's usually the recipe. Those guys are all on the same page, preaching the same message. So it means a lot to me, especially coming from a guy like Coach Gruden with his resume and his Super Bowl win and all those kind of things. It's pretty cool.
What are you learning from Jon Gruden year 2, Derek?
Year 2 is we're having a different level of conversations. Year 1 is just, you go into a training camp install. We're learning something that morning, and you're going the next, 30, 40 minutes later and practicing it on the field. Whereas I have 2 off seasons under my belt, almost 2 training camps under my belt. I have a full year of experience under my belt of knowing what checks he wants, what he wants me to get to, what his thought process is on 3rd and short, on 2nd and short. I know what kind of routes he wants me checking to versus certain looks. Like the level of conversation has just gone up to a completely different place. And that's not something you can do in the first year, because I'm doing my best just to execute this hard, difficult offense.
What's difficult about it? What's so hard about it?
There's just so much on the quarterback's plate that it's different than some of the other systems that I've been in. Whereas
the nomenclature I've heard is tough. It's like learning a new language.
It is a new language. It is. And so
now, are you fluent? You feel like you're fluent?
I'm definitely fluent now.
That's good.
I'm definitely fluent. Last year it was always a learning curve. You're always learning, and I still am learning. But I'm definitely fluent and have a grasp now of what he expects versus every look and those kind of things.
It's got to be tough year 2 with Hard Knocks and the constant cameras around. How difficult is it to get a camera in your face all the time?
You know what? The thing that's so funny about that is I've told people is in the NFL today there's cameras on you all the time, and so it's almost they've almost been non-existent to be completely honest. Besides, you turn the film on, you see this big boom mic hanging over all the players, sitting there on coach's head, throughout the whole practice. They've been super professional. They've been great about everything. And not giving out too many of my secrets in my checks and things like that. So it's been good. They've been great to work with, and it's been fun because who wouldn't want to watch Coach Gruden coach everybody?
You came out here in a Raiders hat.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be the Oakland Raiders, now future Las Vegas Raiders quarterback of the Raiders?
This is something that I dreamed of as a kid. When I grew up, it was Cowboys and Raiders. That's all I knew. And to be able to say that I'm the Oakland Raiders quarterback, someday Las Vegas Raiders, which sounds still weird to me as a California kid, to be the Raiders quarterback, it to me is, I want to leave a legacy here. I don't want to just be someone that, oh yeah, he used to play here. I want to be one of those guys that when you think of the Raiders, that I'm one of those guys that they think about, and that's why I just continually give this city and give this organization every bit of my energy. We've had a lot of ups and downs. But with Coach Gruden and Mr. Mayock coming in, hopefully this will just be a slow, steady process where we can just grow and just have a legacy that we can all build off of. It'd be great.
Hey man, if I said to you, you're on the doorstep of breaking Kenny Stabler's Oakland Raiders passing records.
Yeah.
Let that sink in for a second and think about that.
Yeah, honestly, that gives me goosebumps. Sal, I tell you what, man, that was my dad's favorite player growing up. That's all I heard about growing up.
The snake.
The snake. That was it. My uncle was here with him, in training camp, and we played tight end, so those guys, they love him. And growing
Hall
up,
of Fame.
Hall of Fame. This guy, he's everything you think of when you think of the Raiders, And to be in that position in just 6 years, coming up on 6 years, to be in that position, in that conversation, to, take that next step. I mean, there's only 32 people, in the history of this game that can say that, that they've, led their organization in passing numbers and things like that. Like that, to me, I will do it with honor, with respect, with gratitude to his family, and just to honor him. I think that's one thing I wish. I wish that we could have just one dinner. That him and I could sit down and I could just hear him talk, tell stories, ask him questions. That's one thing I wish that I could have. But hopefully his family will be here if and when that time comes, because it'd be great to celebrate that with them.
Tremendous answer. What's the one question you would ask Kenny Stabler if you could have dinner with him?
Man, there's so many things that come to mind. I want to know about a lot of people, that he was around. I would honestly ask him, what did it mean to you to be the Raiders quarterback? Because I want to know what made his heart, every day he woke up just say, I love this place. What made him tick? What made him, through the dog days of camp, continually wear the silver and black, through the fun times, through the hard times, what made him tick? What did you love, Mr. Stabler, about being the Raiders quarterback? Because I think that I would get more enjoyment out of that answer than just asking him about a certain play or things like that.
I'd ask him to tell us straight goes to the post.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
Can we show me how that worked?
Can you please show us how that worked? There's so many memories, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's so many things we could ask, but just being in the same position, being the Raiders quarterback, I know what makes me tick. I know that this environment's different than other places. I'd want to ask him that.
You mentioned rocky road, bumpy road last year.
Yeah.
What pulled you through that, Derek? How did you deal with that, with all the outside criticism of you and the team? And you trade away Khalil, you trade away Amari. That's all swirling around. You must have been thinking, what's going on here?
Oh, man. I think we all were thinking that. We didn't understand. Again, as players, it's our job, no matter what, to just show up, and you still have to perform. I guess what got me through it was, I was able to play some of my best football I've ever played. I think, my Coach Gruden continued to tell me, don't worry about anything they say about me. Don't worry about anything they say about you. I just want you to come out here and just continue to get better in this offense, continue to grow. He told me when he showed up, he said, you're a rookie again. I don't care what's happened here before, playoffs, not playoffs. He said, I don't care. He said, this is year one with me and you, and let's grow this thing for the next 10 years. And so I guess I just held on to that, and watching myself get better as a player, more efficient, better at checking at the line of scrimmage, more command, more demanding, just learning how to be a quarterback, and the way Coach Gruden sees fit. That's kind of what helped me get through it, because I'm constantly, in my mind, yes, I miss my best friend Khalil. Yes, I miss Amari. Still talk to him. Mm-hmm. Just send him a happy birthday text a few weeks ago. Yes, I miss those guys, but at the same time, still have a job to do here. And the goal has never changed, is to bring number 4 here to the Raiders.
What was your brother David's advice?
Man, he's always told me since I was little, no matter what, you're going to be praised, you're going to be criticized. Ignore both, because neither matter. And it's easier said than done, because I've always been someone in this league that I've tried to do everything right. I try to work my tail off, always blame myself, always put it all on me, be the best teammate I could be, and doing it all the right way while still trying to perform and win games and things like that. I did it the same when we won 3 games. I did it the same when we won 12 games. And you find out that you can't please everybody. Yep. And that was hard for me, because I was like, man, I thought I've been doing this thing the right way the whole time. And there was moments there where I wasn't at my best, where I may have gotten upset at somebody or things like that. And I had to really sit back and take a page out of Russell Westbrook's book and say, I really just don't care anymore. And I think it really helped me grow up, because I still love everybody. Anybody walks up, no matter what they said, I'm still going to be me and loving and things like that. I'm still going to do my business the way I do my business. But I think really finding a care where I really just don't care anymore. All I care about is bringing the 4th title here to the Raiders has really helped me.
Just in talking to you, though, I'm not buying that completely, with all due respect. You're a caring person. You care about this organization. You're a family man.
Yes.
Some of that must have hurt you, what you heard.
That's why I said I wasn't perfect. That's where my whole life I've always been a pleaser. I want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, wait, they're saying, and especially when it's not true. I'm like, I can't. It doesn't sit right with me. So absolutely it hurt. Absolutely I got angry. But then I had to sit back and realize that it doesn't affect the way I prepare. It doesn't affect me as a husband. It doesn't affect me as a football player. It doesn't affect what my coaches think.
Hard to
about
do
me.
though, right?
Very hard to do. But that's what I'm saying. I'm a better man here today than I was 12 months ago.
That's cool.
Because all the things that I've been through, I've kind of realized that I can still love everybody, but I can still keep couple of them at arm's distance.
They went from trade rumors that were out there that were unfounded to bringing in a rookie running back to help you.
Yeah.
A left tackle.
Yep.
An all-world wide receiver, Antonio Brown. Let's talk about Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Playing with him, what kind of dynamo is he? What kind of energy does he bring?
It's unbelievable. Everything. I've known Antonio since the first time we were met at the Pro Bowl. Like, I was like, man, this guy just has an energy about him. You could tell he's an alpha male. You can tell he's one of those lead dogs. You can tell. And getting him on our team, as soon as he's on the field, he makes everybody practice harder. He makes our DBs better. He makes the young receivers practice harder because they see, man, if I want to be the best, that's what I have to do. And for them to see that with their own eyes, it's just elevated our whole roster. It's elevated our whole team. And during OTAs and minicamp and all those kind of things, everyone watches this guy practice, and you're like, yeah, we understand why he's had so much success. Everyone likes to say, oh, that guy works hard, that guy works hard. No one works as hard as him. That guy works his tail off.
People say that. Is that really true?
It's really true. I've never seen somebody. We're just doing routes on air. I'll throw a slant, and this man will sprint, and not just sprint for 5 yards and jog the rest. He will sprint all the way to the end zone every time.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does he continually show up and do that every single day? Obviously, you got to be in amazing shape, but that's what, in his heart, he said, that's what I have to do to be the best. And so, like I said, anyone watching him will say, I got to elevate my game and practice, my eating.
So
my
it must have been
habits,
really tough when he tried to get out there and the feet were all messed up, and he probably was like, man, I can't go full speed.
It probably hurt him the most.
Right?
It probably hurt
I can't
him.
go 200%.
Yeah, it probably hurt him the most. Even I think we saw in the Hard Knocks, Coach Gruden was telling men walk through, hey, calm down a little bit, take it slow, and he just can't. His mind is just full speed, go, go, go. But whenever he's healthy, whenever everything gets situated, he'll be back and it'll be fun.
Do you miss him not being in training camp?
Oh yeah, he's our teammate. You know, we love him.
Plus the chemistry for you and him, right?
Yeah, and that's a good thing though. We had so much time in the off season, not even during OTAs, but just on our own, where we spent time together. Where the timing is there, but obviously, when he's on the field, it's just different.
Off season, you spend time preaching.
Yep.
What is your message when you preach?
Oh man, just giving hope, man. What people don't know about me is I spend time preaching all over the world now. I've been to Haiti and preached. I've preached all over the country. And what people don't know about me is that I didn't used to live a life that would be one that people say, oh yeah, I guess that's a Christian. That wasn't the life that I lived. But that just led me to a place where I was like, there has to be something more. I achieved everything I wanted to achieve, but I was like, man, there's something missing. And to me, it was Christ. And I found that hope. I found who I really was. I found a foundation that didn't waver. And I guess that's my message to people is everyone's going through something. If we would all take our time out of our day to just put arms around each other and love on one another, we'd find out that everyone's going through something, no matter who they are, no matter where they're at in their life. And I guess my message is just to give people hope.
Everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.